Okay, so you ready for this?
Always ready for a deep dive.
Me too. Especially when it's about panthers.
Yeah, those are some pretty cool cats.
They are. But, like,
Ah.
there's so much more to them than what you see, you know?
Right, like what makes a panther a panther.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we are going to figure out today. We're going to dive deep using panthers. Big cat series.
From kitties and cats too.
Yes, that's the one. You know those sleek black hunters we all picture? We'll get this to the term panther.
It doesn't actually refer to one specific animal.
Mind blow, right?
Right.
It's more like a concept that covers a few different species.
Yeah, it's a description. It usually refers to leopards or jaguars that have melanism.
Melanism. Okay, so back up for a sec. What is that?
So basically, it's this genetic variation that causes an animal's coat to be super dark, like black.
Ah, okay, I see.
Yeah, and that's what gives them that sleek black coat.
So wait, is their fur, like, actually black? Huh. Okay, but it's more than just looks right. Like, the book was saying something about their black coat being a major advantage for hunting.
Yeah, they blend in. It's like the ultimate camouflage, especially in dense forests.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. So they can just, like, sneak up on their prey.
Exactly. Total stealth mode.
So would that mean that they'd only be in those kinds of environments then? Like with lots of trees and stuff?
You'd think, right? But here's the thing. The book mentions panthers in grasslands, too.
Grasslands? Really? That doesn't seem very stealthy.
I know, right? It's kind of a head-scratcher. Maybe that black coat does more than just camouflage. Or maybe there are other things at play, like, I don't know how much prey is available, or even how they communicate with each other. It's like nature is always coming up with new ways to test things out.
Yeah, it's true. Makes you realize how adaptable they are. And speaking of adapting, get this, the book says that panthers aren't just on one continent.
They're all over the place.
I know. Africa, Asia, the Americas. Like, they're world travelers.
Global citizens.
Totally. So if they can make it in all these different places,
Uh,
I'm curious how they hunt in each.
That's a great question.
Because the book says they're mostly nocturnal, right? And they like to hunt alone,
Yeah, they're like the lone wolves of the cat world.
which I always find so cool.
So being nocturnal means they use the darkness to their advantage. You can imagine a black panther, almost invisible in the night, stalking its prey.
Oh, wow, yeah. So what do they usually go for?
Let's see. The book mentions deer, wild boar, even smaller mammals. Whatever they can catch, really.
Wow. So I guess that makes them pretty elusive.
Yeah.
Because, like, who's going to see them in the dark?
Exactly. Plus, they're solitary, so you're not going to have a whole pack making a ruckus.
Right, right. So they're like ninjas. But there's this one thing in the book that I thought was super fascinating. Even though they have black fur,
They still have spots.
yeah, like you can sometimes see the rosettes, those spots that leopards and jaguars are known for.
It's crazy. You realize
Yeah.
that their spots are like a hidden message.
I know. How does that even work?
So under certain lighting, you can actually see those faint patterns underneath their black coat, which is really helpful for researchers, you know.
Oh, yeah, to tell them apart.
Exactly.
That's so cool. Okay, but now the book also talks about a North American panther.
Oh, you mean the Florida panther?
Yes.
Nice.
And it's actually a cougar subspecies, right? Not a leopard or a jaguar.
That's right. And it's a subspecies that is facing some serious challenges. They're critically endangered.
Critically endangered. How many are left?
The book says only 120 to 230.
Wow. That's scary low. Why are there so few left?
Habitat loss is a big problem.
Oh, yeah, I bet, as humans keep expanding.
Exactly. And as we build more and encroach on their territory, it just becomes harder for them to survive.
I get it. So are people doing anything to help?
There are conservation efforts
Mhm.
trying to protect the habitat they have left and minimize human impact. But it's a tough fight.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's like a reminder that even though they're apex predators, top of the food chain, they're still vulnerable. It's sad, but it's real. But you know what else the book talks about? It's not all doom and gloom. It's like panthers have this other side to them.
You mean their cultural significance?
Yeah, like they're seen as powerful and mysterious. There's this whole aura around them.
Right. It's not just about their physical presence.
Oh, it's more than that.
Panthers have been showing up in mythology, folklore, and art forever in all these different cultures.
That gets you why.
They represent power and grace.
Even a connection to like the unknown.
Yeah,
It's like they have this mystical vibe.
they do.
And I think that's awesome. So they're not just powerful in stories, though.
Right. No, not.
They're apex predators.
Which means they play a really important role in keeping their ecosystems balanced.
Can you explain that a little bit more
Yeah.
for people who don't know what that means?
Sure. So basically, they help regulate the populations of their prey.
Makes sense.
So that prevents things like overgrazing, which can be bad for the environment. And it helps keep the food web in check, so everything runs smoothly.
So like a chain reaction.
Exactly. If you lose apex predators like panthers,
They can mess everything up.
it can have a huge ripple effect. The whole ecosystem can get thrown off balance,
So basically, they're like the guardians of the ecosystem.
pretty much. They keep everything in line.
I like that. Guardians of the ecosystem. It has a nice ring to it.
It does.
So to wrap things up, I think what we've learned today is that the term panther is a lot more than just a cool name.
It is.
It's like a gateway to understanding these incredible animals
And we're so adaptable.
and play such an important role in the world.
Yeah, they're not just cool to look at.
They're vital to the health of our planet.
And they have a rich cultural history, too, which is fascinating.
It is. It makes you think.
It does.
How can we make sure they stick around?
That's the real question.
It is. So what do you think?
Well, I think it starts with awareness, learning about them, understanding the challenges they face, and then taking action. Whether it's supporting conservation efforts, reducing our own impact, or simply spreading the word.
I agree. Knowledge is power. And that's what these deep dives are all about.
Sharing knowledge so we can make a difference.
Exactly. So to all our listeners out there, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep those panther spirits burning bright.
Until next time.
See you then.